ICENET. Dynasties live here.
Comes down the right side, hitting the line, shoots it in off the boards, back of the net. And Lorimer takes over it again for New York. Went down, a scramble, Trottier coming in close. A scramble for it, and Trottier centers it right to Bossy. He shot knocked down the rebound. Bossy again. He scores. Bossy staying with it. He had 3 or 4 opportunities. And that's a power play goal, and it's tied 1-1. Bourne looking dangerous on this rush. Slides it in front. It went by Leach. He sees it in time, but he can't stop Goring, who flipped it back of the net. Gillies going over there. He's put off stride. Now he gets a pass back. Potvin scores! Beautiful play by Gillies. Got it back. Potvin picking the top corner, and it's 2-1, New York.
Now Leach to the corner. To Clark. Back to Daly. Bob Daly shoots one and wide of the net, bounced out in front. Leach comes up with it. Back to Barber. Barber let it go. I think Clark deflected it. Merrick on the face-off. McLeish gets the draw. Here's Watson, a shot and a pad save by Smith. Pearson trying to clear it. Holmgren to McLeish. He scores! Quick McLeish!
Wasn't against the post, and it went off the inside of his pad and right in.
Barber, one of the penalty killers, says no stick. Here's Potvin to Bossy. Mike Bossy trying to center one. Pearson scores! Step on Pearson on a beautiful setup, and it's tied 3-3. Potvin over to Morrow at the other point. Fired it into Nystrom. Nystrom checked by Busnick. Now it comes loose to Tonelli. To Dennis Potvin. He scores! Potvin! And the Islanders win game 1.
And Barber swings back to his own side of center. Now it comes in for Prop. Prop gets in front of the net. Great play for Holmgren. He scores! Beautiful play by Prop to Holmgren. And it's tied at 1. Now the pass comes back to the line for Leach, who keeps it in. It goes to Clark. Out front to Wilson. Took a shot that's knocked down. Wilson again. Falling the rebound. Scores! Kelly scoring. And Philadelphia are out front, 2-1. Jimmy Watson brings it in. Watson feeds it back for Leach and Barber. Barber back in for Watson. Shooting, rebound, score! Bobby Clark got the rebound, and it's 3-1, Philadelphia. Clark in on the right side for Leach. Leach took the shot right away. It was blocked by Smith. Now Barber has it. Barber out front, score! Tonelli takes a look up the line as Bossy. Bossy gets set. He can't shoot it. Tonelli again. Too difficult an angle. He can't shoot it. Clark hit Bossy. Bossy shot. They score! Trottier got the rebound, and right away fired it by Peters, and that makes it 4-2. Barber on the boards. In back of the net. There's Linsman with it. Linsman feeds it into the side of the net. Holmgren comes in front. They jam away at it. They score! Holmgren jamming away at it, and Trottier is furious. He says no.
Clark on the flyer, power play to Daly. Bob Daly shooting. He scores! 6-2 Philadelphia. Put it in back of the net. Dennis Potvin lost it. Here is Bridgman to Daly. Daly shooting. He scores! Rush got a piece of it, but Daly makes it 7-2.
In the series, Philadelphia's had an impressive power play. They're 4 for 8 in their power play in this first 2 games of the series. Lauren Henning shoots. Score! Lorne Henning, a short-handed goal. Up front, number 9 is Gillies. Number 19 is Trottier. Number 22, Bossy. In goes Putman. Good save, the rebound. He scores! Great goal by Dennis Putman. And it's 2-0 Islanders. Islanders have a two-man advantage for 1 minute and 28 seconds. They have a 2-0 lead, and they have the puck. Stephen Pearson to Putman. To Bossy. Weak shot, knocked down in front. Kneels down, and they score! Brian Trottier makes it 3-0 Islanders. The Islanders have 2 power play goals and a short-handed goal and a 3-0 lead. Clark Gillies dropping it back to Mike Bossy, winding up. He scores! Oh.
Clark for Philadelphia cleared it to center, but Pearson intercepts into Gillies. Clark Gillies should be scored! Gillies beats Spear to the bottom left-hand corner. And it's 5-0 Islanders. Flyers are 2 men short. The Islanders only 1. Into the corner, Bossy dropping it out for Pearson to Potvin, shoots, scores! Dennis Potvin, and it is 6-0 Islanders.
To really get you going, and for Lorne to come out and blast that one by him early, and being a short-handed goal too, I think it maybe gave us a lot of life and took a little bit of starch out of them too. But we played a good, strong first period, and we knew, whenever you can get into the first period and come out with a lead, whether it's 2-1 or 4-0 like last night, you really feel confident, and it helps you, it carries you through for the rest of the game.
To me, that second goal last night, Henning got a goal early, short-handed goal, really important, set the tone of the game. Then you come back and get up 2-0. Can you describe it to us and tell us about the importance of it?
Getting into a situation like that early in the game where we're given the power play advantage, we're leading 1-0, you have to think back of Thursday night in Philadelphia. The same situation happened, except we didn't score on the power play. And going on the ice, I think the 5 of us were very much aware of the fact that we should get a goal here. We need a goal very badly to sort of set the tone, set the pace, and just make everybody on our bench feel a little more comfortable. And, of course, keep the power play going, which is, I think, one of the very most important things in the finals. And when I got control of the puck in the center zone, I moved away from Reggie Leach, and I got a little open ice, and I started going up with it, not really knowing what I was going to do, but just trying to keep my head up to just take advantage of any opportunity to develop as I went. And all of a sudden, the middle opened up a little bit, so I took it. I went in, and I did get some clear space. I shot the puck, and Phil made the initial save. But the puck came right back to me, and as I kept skating towards the net, I saw that all I had to do really was flip it and hope the thing went into the net. And as I skated by, I just watched it drift into the net, and it was great.
The Islanders weren't through. The refs called it close all night. Here, the Islanders are a 2-man advantage. Brian Trottier scores from in close, 3-0. The Islanders got their 3rd power play goal from young Mike Bossy at 14:29 of the first period, 4-0 Islanders. Then in the second period, Clark Gillies jumps out of the penalty box, takes a pass, and scores, 5-0 Islanders. Potvin rounded out the Islanders' scoring with his second goal, another power play. What else? And this is a 4-3 advantage. Potvin makes it 6-0 Islanders. The Flyers got 2 meaningless goals in the third period. The final score, Isles 6, Philly 2. Game 4 is tomorrow night at the Coliseum. I asked Gillies and Potvin about the physical aspects of the series.
If you want to talk about, straight checks, straight body checks, I don't think so. There's a lot of cheap stuff, a lot of jabbing and hooking going on, and it seems like after every whistle there's a little skirmish of some sort. But as far as talking physical in the Boston series, there was a lot of real hard, tough checks, and so far there hasn't been a lot of that in this series.
I know that you are not a man who enjoys the cheap stuff in hockey. You don't mind a physical game, but yet some of the burden has been placed on you to be the retaliator or the enforcer on the Islanders. Do you like that position, or does it affect you negatively?
Well, I don't know if it's as far as being an enforcer. I have to do my part. We got a lot of good, strong, tough guys on the team, and I got to go out and do my part, which I really haven't done to my full potential, and that's, take the body any chance I get, and really, play a good, tough, physical game, which helps our team, gets us going, and you know, it's something that I have to take upon myself to go out and do, you know, night in and night out.
I think that everybody's playing for keeps, and that's the way the game should be played. The violence factor is something that I should definitely be left out of the game, and I think that here are two teams that have been known to play the body well, to do a lot of forechecking, and who can't be intimidated, and yet we're going out there and still bumping, still working, but I think that the series will have to continue that way because it's too much in the mold of both teams to get away from that. We're not the Montreal Canadiens, or we're not the Boston Bruins even. We're different styles of team, and for either team to do anything, we have to keep to that style of forechecking, bumping, and just looking for the open space.
I have the feeling that you have them on the ropes. What do you feel?
You know, we're going to play it one game at a time.
That smile told me more than the answer. I got a good feeling. Good luck, Dennis.
Thanks.
Islanders putting on pressure. Bossy shoots. Great stop. That Peters kid seeing the puck all the way. Made the stop. Busnick in the back of the net with the puck. Lost it. Gillies centering it. Bossy scores. Mike Bossy. 7:03 left in the first period. It's 1-0 Islanders. Gillies got away with a trip back of the net. There's a battle for the puck back of the goal. Gillies centering it. Scoring. Scores. Good scoring. I believe we'll get credit for the goal.
Watch this for forechecking and hitting. Just prior to that, Clark Gillies had made a super play. Gets it to Goring.
Rick McLeish in on Langevin, who bumped him off the puck. Paddock shoots. Scores. John Paddock, his first Stanley Cup playoff goal. And it's 2-1 Islanders.
Well, looked like a very harmless play. Look at Potvin take out McLeish. Nobody picked up Paddock, and he's at the top of the circle. A high-rising shot caught Smith by surprise. And suddenly, we have a new ball game.
Back comes Howitt. Away from McLeish to Trottier. Trottier shoots. Scores! Brian Trottier! 8:15 left in regulation time. 3-1 Islanders. Here's Propp. Into Lensman. Backhander. Scores! Here's a face-off. Daly with a chance blocked, and away comes Bourne. Bourne with Barnes chasing him. Bourne centers. Nystrom scores! Lane takes him out of the play, and Sutter has it for New York. Now Daly for the Flyers. Squared one. Here's Sutter. Into Clark Gillies, around Barnes. Scores! Clark Gillies! And it's 5-2 Islanders!
The reason? Well, his club only won 19 and lost 48. The New York Islanders are just one win away from their first Stanley Cup. Last night, the Islanders bombed the Philadelphia Flyers. The final was 5-2. They lead that series 3-1. Let's pick up action in the third period. The Islanders nursing a 2-1 lead when Brian Trottier scored. It was now 3-1. The Flyers, though, fought back. Ken Lensman did the trick, putting the puck just out of reach of goalkeeper Billy Smith. New York put it away, though, just 90 seconds later. Bob Bourne skates in, freezes the goaltender. The pass to Bobby Nystrom for the tally and a 4-1 lead. The final goal came compliments of Clark Gillies as the Islanders wrap up a 5-2 win. They lead that series 3-1. The Portland Beavers...
Trottier knocked it down. Islanders in the scoreless game with the man advantage. Pearson. There's Bossy. Shoots. Peters the save. Didn't know where it went, but it's clear. Pearson. Slap shot. Scores! Stepan Pearson. Barber to Leach. Drop pass to Wilson. Wilson to Clark. Scores! Bobby Clark has tied it at 1. And that's broken up by Busnick. Potvin. Lost it from McLeish, who has a break. Scores! Rick McLeish stole it from Dennis Potvin.
In comes Trottier. Backhands it. Peters picked it off. There was no place for that shot to go. Islanders with another chance. Stephen Pearson shot. They score! Deflected in front. Trottier, I believe, deflected it. It's a 2-2 tie. Brian Propp to Busnick. To Propp. Going for the front of the net is Lensman. Went off his skate as Lensman couldn't get a stick on it. A chance in front. They score! Finelli to Pearson. Good save by Peters on Stephen Pearson. This is Rick McLeish in on Langevin. The shot. He scores! Rick McLeish. 4-2 Philadelphia. Holmgren to Lensman. He's got good speed, Lensman. Drops it. Holmgren. Shoot. Scores! Paul Holmgren Philadelphia. To the corner. Pearson checking it. Langevin behind the net, chased by Paddock and McLeish. McLeish with the puck. DuPont shot, deflects, they score! Holmgren or Paddock it is in front. I think Paddock will get credit for the goal. Pass right on the stick of Tonelli. Coming in with Nystrom. Tonelli to Nystrom. He scores! Bob Nystrom scores the goal. The Islanders win the Stanley Cup.
Well, Bob Nystrom has a habit of getting overtime goals. Listen to the fans. But it's the Tonelli-Nystrom combination. Resulted in a 2-on-1 break. Look at Nystrom now heading for the net. There's the perfect pass. It's just a deflection. Peters, no chance on the play. Tough play for Pete Peters. Here's the way he looks at it. And he was very depressed after the game. The players came over to him, patted him on the pads.
Let the students of geography decide whether they belong to Long Island or to all of New York. Who cares? The Islanders, that intrepid bunch, too much maligned, have won the Stanley Cup, symbol of hockey supremacy, by beating Philadelphia 5-4 in overtime. It wasn't easy, but then it never has been for the Islanders. Philadelphia, with a two-man advantage, scored first. Beautiful play, sets up Reggie Leach to the right of the goal. Watch him. And he makes it 1-0. The Islanders kept it that way, killing off a penalty, and then Dennis Potvin tied the game, the best defenseman in all of hockey. And now La Forza del Destino, an Islander goal on an obvious offside. Wayne Sutter gets it. Philly claimed foul, but good teams beat others even without officials. Philly tied it at 2. Brian Propp got this goal, but watch Paul Holmgren. He makes the play. Then the Islanders explode. Bossy will come in the middle. His backhand does it, 3-2. Bobby Nystrom on a great John Tonelli feed. He got around Bobby Clark, puts it in front, 4-2 Islanders with 20 minutes left. So what happens? The Islanders gave their critics food for foment. Bob Bailey from the bleachers, 4-3. Paddock deflects it past Smitty on an Andre DuPont blast, 4-4. The Islanders have imploded. Are you kidding? They dead? It's overtime. Nystrom from Tonelli, Nirvana, 5-4, Stanley Cup. Laid to rest forever is the canard that they choke. They have inherited the Montreal Kingdom. The king is dead. Long live the king. John Dockery was there.
There's been no thrill that I've ever had that is as great as that. When I saw the puck go in the net, you know, first there's a little disbelief, and then you say, it's in, and then it's over. And I'm so glad, and I'm tired, and I just, but it just, it's the peak of my career. I mean, I've never felt better.
There was a period, there's no question about it. I think that every one of us felt that everything sort of got drained out of us early in that third period. But I tell you, it's credit to this hockey club, and I wish that people would start, they've got to now. I mean, a fool is one who doesn't recognize the character of this hockey club. They came out, they had the momentum going for them, they did everything right in the third period. We managed to hold them off. Came back in the overtime, did it. All right.
Is that how it was planned? A little dramatic finish in front of the fans for the cup?
I wish I could tell you that. They'd probably ask me to write scripts if I could tell you that, but no way. We wanted to win it. We wanted to get the 5th goal, the 6th goal going in the third period. That would have been a great way of doing it because it would have been easy. We're human. We have heartbeats and everything. Ours all stopped for a while in that third period. But I think that we still held that confidence. When we got into the overtime, we got in here, we were sitting down, we started talking, the boys felt confident. A lot of guys hadn't played that much because of penalties and whatnot, and we went four defensemen most of the third period, so some of us were really drained. But I'll tell you, some guys just came through. Bobby and I, John Tonelli, who, by the way, set me up on the overtime goal in the first game, just laid a beautiful pass into Bobby and I just put it away. See you later. It's all over. Yeah.
And you carrying the cup around the rink, I mean, that's the thing you've been waiting for. How did it feel?
I'll tell you, John, when you're 6, 7, 8 years old, watching Montreal Canadiens, John Beliveau, or just the Stanley Cup being handed to some person who's playing hockey, and you know that you want to be playing against or with this person in a few years, and then it comes a time where you're into it. When we beat Buffalo, we got that ticket to get into the finals, and I could envision it. I wanted it so much, and I think that everybody wanted it, and I carried it halfway around the ice, and I just wanted everybody to get to carry it because it was the greatest sensation any of us. I mean, there isn't a soul in this dressing room that's ever been close to winning it. And to do it all together, it's like a bunch of novices coming in and winning a championship immediately. It's dynamite, and it was the most exhilarating thing I'd ever felt. Thanks.
Mr. Sal Marciano at Nassau Coliseum and Len Berman. Here is Len Berman.
Good evening again, everybody. New York has its first Stanley Cup in 40 years. Talk about lucky numbers. How about 7-11? 7 minutes, 11 seconds into overtime. Here is the biggest goal in the history of Long Island. John Tonelli in overtime, passing over to Bobby Nystrom. Bobby Nystrom scores it, and the Islanders win it 5-4 in 6 games. Look at this reaction. You have to remember that most of these players are Canadian. They grow up their entire life thinking about hockey. As we look at Randall Pinkston outside Nassau Coliseum, now back to the action. You have to understand these players dream their entire lives about winning a Stanley Cup. It happened for the New York Islanders franchise just a short while ago here on Channel 2. The New York Islanders are the Stanley Cup champions, winning 5-4 in Game 6. And as you saw a moment ago during the highlight, we have Randall Pinkston in a crowd of people outside the crowded Nassau Coliseum. And Randall, let's go to you.
Lynn, I don't know how to describe this. It's sort of like being in a sardine can. Everybody is saying they're number one. You can hear them. You can see them. There are pennants. There's wine, champagne, beer, everything. Let me ask you a question. Hello? How do you think they did it? What was the most important thing that brought this victory? You know?
Bobby Nystrom's last goal was a great...
That's it. Bobby Nystrom, what do you think? That's it. Number one play. Was it ever in doubt? Never. 6 games over. What about when it was tied up? No. We got the character this year. No way they were taking it from. No way. At the end of the game on the billboard, they were flashing, it was never in doubt. And these people out here have a lot of spirit, and they certainly stood by their team all the way. I'm Randall Pinkston with a crowd of really wild Islander fans in front of Veterans Memorial Coliseum, Long Island. Lynn?
Okay, Randall, stay with it. Today's the day. We are the champions of the world. Well, let's get a parade out in Nassau County. One person said they don't have a Fifth Avenue out there. Well, let's find one. Let's do it down Hempstead Turnpike. We need a parade for the Stanley Cup champion New York Islanders. Down in Philadelphia tonight, though, it's a totally different story. You can bet they were throwing things at their TVs first period. 2 p.m., Nassau Coliseum, the Islanders go for the kill. But Philly strikes first on a 2-man power play. Reggie Leach beats Billy Smith. Then, controversy number 1, the Islanders tied on a power play, but it looks like Dennis Potvin's stick there hit the puck with the stick over the shoulder. Can't do it, but the goal counts. Then, controversy number 2, the Islanders take the lead, but Clark Gillies passed it back over the line to Butch Goring. That's offsides, but it is not called. So the Islanders have it. The play continues. Great pass to Sutter. Sutter beats Pete Peters. It's 2-1. Islanders lead it first period. But Philly continues to outshoot the Islanders. Brian Propp ties it. It's 2-2. But second period on the power play. Bobby Bourne fans on it, but Mike Bossy knocks it home. 3-2 Islanders. Nassau Coliseum erupts. Seconds to go in the second period. Bobby Nystrom nails it. The Islanders smell it. They lead Philadelphia 4-2. But early third period. Daly Waite blasts a cannon shot that beats Smith. 4-3 now. And then DuPont from the point. John Paddock the tip. and it's all tied at 4-4. Overtime, and then, as you saw a moment ago, Tonelli to Nystrom, and an explosion that's still being felt in the New York metropolitan area as the first Stanley Cup in 40 years since the New York Rangers won it in 39-40 comes to Long Island. And remember, the remarkable aspect about this, it is only their 8th year of existence, and they have a Stanley Cup to show for it, beating Philadelphia in Game 6. And we will go out to lose. How wrong the media can be at times. All it takes is a couple of wins to turn it around. They turn it around, beating Los Angeles and Boston and Buffalo, and now Philly to win the Stanley Cup. We have some tape of what happened at the moment from ground level when the Islanders wrapped up the Cup a short time ago. You were watching here on CBS, 7-11 into overtime. The goal, Nystrom from Tonelli, and we don't have it. So let's go back out to the Coliseum. Maybe we can take a look at what the fans are doing out there. As the jubilation continues, our man Randall Pinkston is in the crowd.
Len, I'm right in the middle of the crowd. They were just shouting a few seconds ago, "We don't choke, we don't choke." They also had something that I can't repeat about the team from Philadelphia. Wait a minute, you're saying you don't choke, but you were tied for a while. Hey! You said beginning of the series we choked. We won the cup. We didn't choke. We don't choke. Well, you heard that, right, Lynn? And we also understand there's a Bobby Nystrom fan club around here somewhere, and there are people here with banners with all of the team's names on it. A lot of spirit, a lot of happiness, and I suppose that this is going to be an all-night party. Back to you, Lynn.
Thank you, Randall, and you can understand how those fans feel. Only in their 8th year. You know, it's a remarkable comparison. The New York Mets were in there when the moment happened, when the game ended. We also have some features we'd like to show you about the Stanley Cup and about how the Islanders got to the Stanley Cup Finals. And we have all that coming up for you on this special program, Battle for the Stanley Cup. I have a piece of tape on the ice the moment that Bobby Nystrom won the Stanley Cup for the Islanders. This is how it looked at ground level when these players who have dreamed about a Stanley Cup all their lives finally brought one home. Longeman, the defenseman, Captain Dennis Potvin in the middle of the group, Sutter, who scored a goal, Clark Gillies in the middle somewhere must be Ken Morrow. Think about Ken Morrow. He won an Olympic gold medal this year, came to the Islanders halfway through, finds himself winning a Stanley Cup. NHL President John Ziegler handing over to Dennis Potvin the moment of a hockey player's career. Sal Marciano is standing by live at the Coliseum right now with the man of the hour, the man who scored that winning goal, Bobby Nystrom. Sal?
There's a champagne party going on in the Islander locker room. They've won their first Stanley Cup in their 8-year history. The winner scored by Bobby Nystrom in sudden victory. Bobby, tell me about the goal.
Well, I'll tell you, for the second time tonight, Johnny Tonelli set me up on a beautiful, beautiful play. He crossed over in front of the defenseman. He got one of the defensemen going for him. He went around the other defenseman, and he just laid a pass out on my stick, and all I had to do was deflect it in on my backhand. And the funny thing about the goal is I don't think I scored a goal all year on my backhand. So it was a great, great thrill. It really was.
Getting to be a habit with you. This was your 3rd game-winning goal in the playoffs.
I don't know what it is. I just go in between periods, after the 3rd period, and I just have the attitude that I'm going to come up with a big play. And I think that's the reason the team has won, is because everybody has that attitude, and we've shown that we can win the big games, and finally the choke thing is gone. I'm just so glad of that, because I think that, you know, for the young kids, it's a bad thing to label a team, and we never were chokes, and we won the big one now, and it's just the greatest feeling in the world.
The question has to be asked. In that 3rd period, you blew a 2-goal lead. Were you thinking about perhaps that you were going to muff another chance?
Yeah, it did occur to me. When we went into the dressing room, Dave Langevin, you know, he sort of muttered something beside me, and I said, forget about it. You know, we've always done it the hard way. We're going to have to do it the hard way again tonight. So for the first couple of minutes, I mean, we did think, hey, maybe it's just not destiny that we're going to win. But we proved again that you got to go out there and you got to work your rear end off, and things will come to you.
How sweet is it?
Oh, it's the sweetest. It really is.
I got a sign for you over here. Look at this.
Bobby, I'm your fan.
Look at this.
Biggest fan, Bobby. You're the greatest, Bobby.
We deserved it this year. I think we did. I think we worked awful hard for it.
Oh, you Ranger.
Congratulations again.
Thank you very much.
Okay, Bob, congratulations. And so the Stanley Cup is returned to New York. For the first time in 40 years, from the Islander locker room where the party will go late into the night, let's go back to Len Berman in the studio.
Sal, before he went out to the Coliseum, about the big names who made it for the Islanders, the guys like Potvin and the guys like Smith and Trottier, the guys who brought this team together and got the Islanders to the Stanley Cup final and now to victory in the Stanley Cup. Let's take a look at the guys who got them there from Sal.
Question, maybe a naive one.
Well, it's tough to really say one thing. I think number one is the opportunities are there. Number two, the fact is everybody's working hard. And it's not just myself that's going out there and scoring goals. I mean, the players that are getting me the puck are doing a good job of it. Our forechecking has never, ever been better. I can never remember it being as effective as it has been. Just the confidence factor. Once you get 2 or 3 goals, you know, your confidence is there, and I imagine just that helped as well.
For Islanders captain Dennis Potvin, it's been a hockey season of extremes. He's been down, and now he's up. Potvin missed 49 games during the regular season schedule of 80 because of 2 injuries. Thumb surgery was the major reason he was a spectator for most of the winter.
The only thing that kept me going was thinking about the playoffs and how far we could go, and the depth that this team was getting, you know, as we're going along, and hoping that something would happen so that when I came back I'd still have some of the season to play. I didn't want to play 5 weeks and then go into the summer again, and this is just turning out the way I've been dreaming since December 4th, since I got the operation, so I just want to keep it going.
Potvin won Game 1 with a sudden victory goal for the Islanders at the Spectrum in Philadelphia. In Game 3, Potvin scored twice, and his star...
The proceeding has been a special presentation of ICENET, the Islanders Championship Entertainment Network.